2, 1, we're live. Hey, we're at the Rock Fantasy Files coming to you. I'm coming to you from the Rock Fantasy Studios. I named that tonight. And it's New Year's Eve, and I got some friends of mine here. We've got Kenny from Morpheus Descends, a Middletown native, and we've got Andrew Freeman from Last in Line and many other projects that he'll fill us in, I'm sure, with, and Brad Nader from former guitarist at All Out War, Must Not Kill down in Tampa, and also from Dean Guitars, correct?
That's it, man. Yep. You hit it all. My career in a nutshell.
And we got Alexander Boakes, did I say it right, from the mighty Immolation. So we've got some death metal, we got some thrash metal, we've got some classic metal represented tonight. And we're going to talk about some of our favorite releases from this wonderful year we're living through, 2020. And I did a show about 2 weeks ago where I kind of did my top 5. Tonight I'm going to do like the rest of my stuff, but we're going to go in a round robin tonight and talk about everyone else's top 5 or top 10 or whatever they want to grab into. And I guess we'll start off, who's to my left on the screen, everyone's different, is Kenny from Ken Baggio. So
okay, I guess number 5, start at the bottom, work our way up. It's an EP from a local band called Witch Kiss. It's called Transformation. It's a 3-song EP. I'm wearing the shirt, but it's probably backwards. But
okay, I can see it now. It looks good.
Yeah, they're kind of like a doom metal, post metal kind of stuff. 3-piece. They got 2 different singers. They got a female singer that sings and plays drums, and one of the other guys sings and does more of the guttural stuff.
Okay.
Good, really good band, solid, very ethereal kind of stuff. Just really like it, and you support the locals, you know. They're definitely a band worth listening to.
And Alex?
Yeah, that's really true.
Okay, cool. Alex, what do you got? Your audio's out again, Alex.
No?
I can hear
you.
Yeah,
maybe stay closer.
Yeah. You got to lay over the speaker somehow, yeah, unfortunately.
Good now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, my number 1 record would be AC/DC, Power Up. That's my number 1 record of the year, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's definitely, it was a nice surprise to have that this year. I didn't even know it was really coming out. It was kind of like comfort food. I call that album. And I mean, Brian sounded great, and the album it's got some great stuff on it. It's a strong album. Cool.
Yeah, I think it's one of the better ones they've done in a while, actually. You know.
It is. Yeah, sounds great. And it's kind of like Brian Johnson's back. We don't have Axl singing for GNR right now.
Yeah.
He sounds fantastic,
too. No thanks. No Axl for me.
Cool. I guess, Andrew, you're next in line on my screen.
I don't have this in any particular order. I actually made notes. I made notes so I could sound intelligent. But when you let everybody know that you've made notes, it instantly makes you sound not intelligent. So I'm just going to go with the complete middle of the road moron. Oh, you got notes too. Well, you're hosting. I'm supposed to.
But I'm a moron anyhow. I'm not good at doing these things. I just do it because I'm bored out of my mind now, and it's kind of fun. Go ahead.
So no particular order. The new Deftones record, Ohms. Right, that's called.
I dig it.
Yeah, I dig it too. It just I kind of like you guys said with the AC/DC thing, the record. It's like anytime those guys do a record, for me, there doesn't have to be anything, over the top or whatever. As long as it's just that droning Deftones, low tune guitar with with Chino over the top of it, just doing his thing. It's kind of like, just for me, it's kind of like this comfort thing from, my, I don't want to say my youth, because I was probably in my 30s the first time, late 20s or whatever. But it definitely has that. It's got a bit of a nostalgia for me from, like White Pony and earlier. It definitely, especially this year when you needed a lot of comfort, and I've put on weight because of, eating everything in sight. But putting that in, and and just going out for a walk for an hour or two is just fucking just bliss, man. So Deftones, Ohms.
I gotta agree with you on that. That's a really strong album by them. It came out in like August, and I listened to it a lot. And it's on my top. It's in my top 5, and I'm that's a great album.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of glad you invited me to do this, because honestly, the way this year has been going, I haven't really listened to much of anything. So, I mean, literally for me, that's unheard of. I mean, everybody knows me pretty well with music, But, I got back into it and I started listening to a lot of stuff from the last couple of weeks. And I really like the new Napalm Death album, The Throes of Joy in the Jaw of Defeatism. I mean, you want to talk about comfort food for me. I mean, it's definitely one of those albums that they never failed to impress me with some of the stuff they do. And I mean, that album alone, they always kind of push the envelope of like grindcore and what else is going on. So I really enjoyed that album a lot. No particular order. I kind of threw them on here randomly too. Yeah. So
right.
But yeah, I think it's a great album, man. So.
It's not a typical Napalm Death album. There's a lot of things that are different. Like there's some different stuff going on, and
that's why I like it. It's not like just totally in your face. There's a lot of different flavors on the album. So yeah, definitely check it out if you haven't already. So it's good.
So I'm gonna cheat a little bit here. I'm gonna do like 5 in a row, but I'm gonna do them quickly. I'm starting with I'm gonna start with my 25th album of the year. It's a band from Finland called Wolfheart.
Oh yeah, I heard of that. Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Maybe you have. But Finnish metal, like melodic, death metal, which I like a lot. And that's my 25. And 24 is a band that's only had, I think, a couple albums out. And they've been around for many, many years, though. Their first album in nearly 20 years, Blue Oyster Cult.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
How's that?
That's on the last show I did, Will Carroll picked it for album of the year. So
wow.
And so did Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility, both albums of the year. So it could be higher up my list, but these aren't in any, these could switch order every day or two. The EP by Candlemass made it into my top 25, The Pendulum, which came out in the very beginning of the pandemic, where we thought we might all die any day. So, but that was something I didn't
just in time.
And that's the soundtrack to it.
Thrash metal guys, Weapons of Tomorrow from Warbringer, which is like one of the new, I don't think they're new anymore, but like the new breed of thrash metal. And one more for me, the latest Lamb of God. I did listen to that quite a bit. One of my, kind of old favorites from the old metalcore days from the beginning. I don't know if you want to call them metal, from Richmond, Virginia. Chuck Billy's on here. Jamie Jost is on there. It's kind of like it was a decent album from Lamb of God. So
that's just self-titled, right?
Yeah, and I had to look that over even tonight again. Wait a minute, didn't they do a self-titled already?
Nah. Yeah, I heard a little bit of that too. The album's pretty good. I dig it. That new drummer's pretty good.
Yeah. And I guess we'll go back to Ken now, and then I'll pop in a couple more when I get to my turn again. And
hey, do you own a record store? Is that why you have all those records?
Yeah, and I kind of collect them too. And I'm drinking my champagne a day early in my Miller champagne bottle here.
Cheers.
You are from Middletown. Holy shit!
You can't get champagne High Life in Vegas.
Why would you want
I'm sure I could get worse than that.
I thought you lost a bet.
No, I like Miller, man. Miller's good. I'm gonna remember you guys. I'll be able to do
more for you.
That's awesome.
I drank that when I wasn't old enough to drink.
Oh, you see. I got the
old enough to know better.
And I got the little bottle.
Exactly.
I can do that. The regular,
All right, here you want to sit?
Yeah.
So are they endorsing you? Is that why you're drinking it?
No, I don't have any corporate sponsors, man. That's pretty tough right now.
Yeah.
So, Kenny, what do you got next, brother?
Well, we were talking about comfort food with Napalm Death. I was thinking the new benedictions, scriptures.
Yeah, that's
It
a
was
great
like they,
album.
you know,
I like that
old
too,
school
yeah.
death metal. You know, those guys been doing it for a long time, since the beginning. I mean, Barney used to sing with them. So I mean, like you said, it was like it's good, good old school death metal, heavy. You know, they break enough new ground to make it interesting, but it's still the old school stuff that you would come to expect from them.
Yes.
Honorable mention with those guys is the new Skeletal Remains, because that album's just like that.
Cool.
The new Embodiment of Chaos, it's called. That one kicks my ass, like repeated listens. It's like Morbid Angel on crack.
And I tell you, yeah, we can definitely do some honorable mentions at the end of the list too. You know, I got nothing to do anyhow. I got a short commute home, so.
Yeah, me too.
I think we all do, right?
We went from
steps.
Ken to Alex, or did we go to Andrew? I don't remember now. I'm lost already.
Alex could go. That's cool.
Okay. My number 2 is not a metal or hard rock record, but it's not even necessarily new material, but it's demos from PJ Harvey's "To Bring You My Love" record.
Oh, cool.
It's really great to hear their songs, like the demo versions, really raw, and it's fantastic. So that's my my number 2 record of the year.
I've sold a few copies of that in the store, actually.
PJ Harvey.
Yeah,
Nice.
one girl that's running the store for me now just started working there during the pandemic. She's big into music, and that's one of her. I mean, she likes a lot of metal, but she's like pull some of these in because they reissued a bunch of the PJ Harvey stuff, and we sold a lot of it with her working there.
Nice.
That's cool.
Andrew Freeman, I guess it's your turn.
Yeah, sorry, I have notes on my phone, so I keep looking down and trying
That's
to.
fine.
Again, so I don't feel stupid or seem stupid, which is
This isn't like
so,
this isn't.
I'm gonna get this out of the way right now, because if I don't, I'm gonna probably hear it from Tom and Dave. But the Ellefson no cover record.
It's like,
Wow.
it's like On Through the Night, looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a Def Leppard record.
Yeah, it does. Listen to Def Leppard.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
clearly has a different headstock. It's got clearly has a different headstock. So yeah, that's it's a covers record that Dave Ellefson did with his solo band, and it's a bunch of guys on there singing, you know, pretty decent covers of you know, great rock songs. I think Jason McManster is on there, and like they did Free Will Burning, Tear It Loose with Twisted Sister, and, you know, some Motorhead songs, and like, you know, just a different like classic rock songs. I'm on 2 of the tracks. So one is the one I did was an old fight song, Nailed to the Gun, and with myself and Satchel from Steel Panther, and also known as what the hell's his real name? But he used to play guitar and fight. And Russ Parrish, he was a guitar player on the first Fight record with Rob Halford, and Jimmy DeGrasso is playing drums on both tracks that I do. So I did that, and I did Over the Mountain for the Ozzy track, Over the Mountain, with Bumblefoot and Dave, obviously, and I think and Jimmy DeGrasso is playing drums on that too. So I just want to put it out there. I don't want to say it's my favorite, one of my 5 top favorites, but it came out this year, and I wanted to be like Steve because I actually have visuals. So
Cool.
see, like I don't even own a record store, so I have this an actual disc. Go figure.
Is that the album they recorded at a bunch of studios, and you guys just sent in like vocal tracks and all that, right? Put it all together.
It all here. I did it all here. Yeah. So.
Yeah, because he was down here and he did some work at Master Sound Studios, and he went in there.
Awesome.
I think he came down. I think he was like bopping around from different studios and stuff to get like.
Yeah, I think so. There, a lot of people on it, so I imagine so. But I was just kind of pushed myself into it because I was doing something with Jimmy DeGrasso. We did one of those pandemic cover things, and he said, I was talking about, you know, not working because of all this stuff. And he said, he's like, I'm doing this covers record with Ellis. Says, which one are you doing? He said, we're doing a song by this band, Rob Halford's old band, Fight. I never even heard of him. I was like, what? Like, what? I said, what song you do? He's like, Nailed to the Gun. I'm like, what? I said, can I sing on that? You know? So pushed my way into it. So that was kind of cool. But to handle Rob Halford, so anyway.
Cool. Awesome, man.
That's my final personal plug for the entire show.
That's fine. I mean, that's what this show's all about. It's not just, you guys are on. You got to talk about what you guys are working on and stuff too.
Yeah, and it's it actually came out this year, so I was like, what? Oh wait, this came out this year. This is a thing. So
Yeah. So be mad, Brad Mader. What do you got for us now?
Checking out a bunch of stuff. It seems like I'm into these super groups lately. I don't know. The Venomous Concept new album is really good too. Is Politics versus the Erection. I think it's just a killer album as well. I mean, in that Napalm vein as well. Ken, you probably love it if you haven't checked it out.
Yeah,
but
it's like it's Kevin Sharp from Truth,
Kevin and
Looker,
Shane and Looker. Yeah.
And Shane Embury from Napalm. It's good. I really love the first album. Like this one, I haven't listened to as much as the first one, but it's like that kind of. It's definitely got that old school kind of like little punk metal feel to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Poison Idea. I mean, it's the same, very similar.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's I guess my number 2 on my list here. So that's all I got on that. So.
All you got?
That's all I got.
Is it my turn again? I think it is. I lost count, but I'm doing an order, so you guys can count along at home. I believe Lamb of God was the last one, so we're up to number 21, which is a Dutch symphonic band, Delane, with Apocalypse and Chill. Seen them on tour quite a few times. They're, a little bit different than what I've talked about so far today. And that one, and Lucifer 3, which is kind of like a cult rock. It's their 3rd album. That's why it's called 3. And 70s style. If you've never heard them, it's the kind of music you could probably listen to if you're like put yourself into a Hammer horror film. But it's like that 70s groove stoner stuff. I think they had probably played that Psycho Las Vegas show we were talking about earlier, Ken.
Yeah. Nick Anderson from originally the guy who played in Entombed. It's him and his wife's band.
That's right.
They're good. It's like got that kind of, like you said, like that 70s kind of vibe to it. She's got an amazing voice too.
Oh yeah, I saw I love that Oath album, the Oath that she put out before she started the Lucifer thing.
Oh, that's where they had it. There was a chick guitar player too, right?
Yeah,
not a blonde chick.
Girls, like on the cover.
I don't remember what her name is. Yeah, that was really good. A lot more on like almost like a heavier side than what Lucifer is, but it was good stuff, man. I like Lucifer. I haven't heard the new one though.
Yeah, check it out. That's why we're doing these shows. Like the last show we did, a couple of people were taking notes. Yeah, I gotta check that out.
Mm-hmm.
And number 19 is the Black Dial Murder and Metal Blade with Venomous, deathcore, death metal, whatever you want to say. That was one of the albums that came out, and like Slagle was kind of nervous. It's like there's nobody open and the album's coming out, but it did all right. And then I've got Nightwish, the Finnish symphonic metal band, with their 8th LP, 2nd with Floor Jansen with The Human Nature. And then final one on my list for my turn is California's Cirith Ungol. First album since 1991. That's
a good album.
Forever Black. A strong album came out this year. I mean, them and Blue Oyster Cult, they wait like 20 years to put records out. So.
At least they're worth the wait.
Yeah, they are. They're very good.
Yeah.
I came out with a little blade also in the I think in the spring, maybe something like that. Kenny, we're back to you.
All right. I also have notes, so you guys don't feel bad.
No,
I wrote down a bunch of shit. I can barely read my own handwriting.
Excellent.
All right. I'll throw you a curveball for number 3. It's like a New York noisecore band called Couch Slut. They're yeah. They just came out with a new album called Take a Chance on Rock and Roll. But it's more like it's like noise rock, like the New York, like Unsane, Cop Shoot Cop, like those kind of bands. Yeah. But with the most insane female singer, like she screams like a maniac. Like I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Crisis. Karen
Oh, yeah.
Crisis.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like that vocal style, like very in your face and kind of scary. But really, like good stuff. Discordant, more, I would say more noise rock, not really so much metal, but definitely good stuff. Really original. And like really heavy, like I said, like heavy, but in a completely different way than say like death metal or stuff like that. But
No, Ken, didn't we go to see Crisis at CBGB's? Didn't we go to that Relapse?
yeah, we
Records
did.
party?
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
Damn Crisis. It was like 2 days. Crowbar. It was like a
Yeah,
sludge
today's
metal,
the day, and yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it was a
the
great-
most dangerous bathroom ever.
Yeah.
Their bathroom. That's what I'm saying. I've been in that place so many times. COVID can't get me because I didn't catch anything from CB. So
Yeah.
Didn't they put that? Isn't that
Place sounded
bathroom
great,
somewhere?
though. It had the best sound there.
Oh, yeah.
It did. Oh, yeah.
Always
Every
For-
time
for-
I played there, it was awesome.
for like
Yeah.
such a really like a dive place, they had
Yeah.
great sound there, and just legendary bands of every genre really was there.
Yeah.
It's a shame it's gone, But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always liked CB's.
yeah,
It was fun. It was always an adventure.
yeah,
Didn't-
that's for sure.
Didn't they take the fixtures from the bathroom and put it in some museum somewhere? I could have sworn they put it like in a Hard Rock somewhere from CB's,
yeah,
right?
It should be.
It's
It should be.
possible. You'd have to
Yeah.
sterilize it pretty good before anybody get near it, though.
I don't know if they were able to even remove that from the foundation, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, the toilet throne, the old
What'd
toilet
you say,
throne.
Alex?
Remember that? Yeah. It was like if you had to take a crap,
Yeah.
you were better off going outside and jumping in a dumpster.
Yeah.
It'd probably be cleaner.
I'll give Alex a room for a second. He was making a point.
Oh, sorry.
CBGB's museum in Berlin last year that they have there. It was pretty
Oh.
Oh, they have. Oh, wow.
It's like a cafe,
Oh,
CBGB's cafe, museum / and it has a lot of memorabilia in there and stuff.
Oh,
Do you know what part of the city that's in?
Ooh, man, I don't remember.
Is it in the German neighborhood?
Yeah, it's in a like I guess major part of the city downtown.
Okay. Yeah,
Somebody
that's
took
cool.
me there. So
I'd like to check that out next time we're there, if we ever get back there. Fuck.
Yeah, right.
I know, right? And I mean, for a while after CBGB's closed, they were talking. I was in Vegas on one of my business trips, and they were talking about opening a CBGB's in Vegas. I don't know if that never happened. I guess, right?
I thought that maybe that might have ended up at the Hard Rock, the bathroom thing. I'm not sure because they
Yeah.
they had a ton of memorabilia there, but I never saw it. I mean, I worked there for about 2 years, so I never saw it there. So
Mhm.
Vegas already has their CBGB's, the dive bar.
no,
Is that what it's called? The dive bar?
It's,
yeah.
It's CBGB's, dude. Literally, the stage, they have one light bulb. And they have shots in toilets. These little toilet do the toilet shots. But yeah, it's a total
Nice.
CBGB's vibe in there.
Yeah.
I've seen some good bands in
that's a
there.
joint.
So, Ken, you just went, so we're gonna go with Alex next, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
Alex next.
Alex, you're up, brother.
Oh, I'm up. Oh, okay. Number 3, I guess, would be the new Sodom record. It's called Genesis
Cool.
XIX, whatever that is in Roman numerals. It's been a long time since I've been to school.
Yeah, it is. Genesis something.
But yeah, it's kind of like a return to form in a lot of ways. There's a lot.
It is.
There you go. A lot of kind of brings me back to a little bit of the 1984 In the Sign of Evil kind of stuff. It's really good, really dirty, kind of raw, dark sounding stuff, and yeah, really good. And Frank Blackfire's back in the band.
Yeah.
Yeah, good record.
Yeah, who isn't Sodom now? What is it? Is Bernie Man still there or no?
No, it's Tom. Yeah,
I can tell you.
Frank and the other 2 guys. I don't know who they are. 2 new guys.
Same singer though, right? Same singer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Tom Angel Ripper, of course, Frank Blackfire, York, and on guitars, and Tony Merkel on drums.
Okay. I did it. It's funny. I love that band, dude. And I actually teched for Burning Man. You remember Burning Man, their old guitar player? I think he was the original guy.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I was living in LA, and I wasn't, I was doing tech work, guitar tech and stuff for different bands, and I got called to go work for them just on a whim, and they were the funniest bunch of fucking guys, just 3-piece, and I had never really heard a song. I mean, I heard of the records and stuff, but I'd never listened to them before. But I just hanging out with them, and like I handed him a guitar out of tune, and he just was like, he didn't give a fuck. He just just went for it. So, but what a great bunch of guys, man. And that's it. And what's the singer's name? Tom, right?
Tom Angel.
Tom Angel.
Yeah. What a great guy. What a great bunch of guys. I'm glad they're still making records, because were a lot of fun to hang out with back in the day. So back then anyway. So, anyway.
I actually just saw an interview with Smear of Destruction, and I wanted to give him a plug, which I was going to do later in the show. If you guys are watching this, and this is going to go on New Year's Eve, I'm going to put this show up, or it might even go up later tonight. And Destruction's doing a live stream on New Year's Day, and it's like $15. And I really, even if you don't like watching live streams, what do you got better to do? Support Smear and the guys in Destruction. I haven't worked in 9 months, and I watched an interview with them, and they're doing that on New Year's Day. So, hey, you can have your own little Destruction concert in your house, and have a couple brews on New Year's Day and support the bands. And, of course, Kiss big New Year's Eve tomorrow night with our good buddy Fran Stuber from Middletown, living the rock star life, flying to Abu Dhabi and tuning guitar.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Tomorrow night and Destruction on. We got some music at least for the next couple of nights.
Very cool.
And I guess where are we up next? Alex, you just went?
Oh, me.
Yeah, Andrew, I'm here. Andrew's up next.
Okay, so I'm gonna go along with Brad's theme of the supergroup way, and the Killer Be Killed record.
I have that on my list too. It's
so
really good. It's
so
really good.
Like it's and you're gonna. I can't remember. I never pronounce his name. Was it Greg Puciato? Is that how you say it? From
from
Dillinger
Escape Plan.
Yeah.
He has a solo album out too, doesn't he? Yeah.
It's on my list too. Yeah.
He's keeping busy. Definitely.
Yeah, so,
but yeah, that's a great album. I agree with you.
Yes.
I have that on my list. So
and Max Cavalieras and Troy from Mastodon. So they got 3 singers in this band.
Oh wow!
And they all it's just divided up. I don't want to say evenly, but it's divided up really well. You know what I mean? It's really a well done record, and it's just one of those records you're like what the fuck is next? You think like, wow, it was really great vocal part, and then like Troy will pop in, and then now it sounds like this Mastodon. It's just a hybrid of all these fucking bands, and it's and they're all all their bands really stand up on their own. So to put them all together, and usually when these things happen, it kind of sucks. Sometimes it sucks. It's not a good thing just because this guy played with that band and this guy played with that band. But this is, I love it.
No,
I don't know anybody else, but I fucking love it, man.
No, it's really good. And when Max kicks in too, I know what you're saying, because they'll go from like that Mastodon feel to like a straight up like old school like Sepultura type riff when he's singing in there. It's just so well written. I mean, they really kind of cater to everyone's strengths in that band, and I agree with you. It's a great album.
Well, thank you, Brad.
Oh, well, you're welcome. Once in a while, we agree.
Everybody's on that same kind of mindset tonight, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, like it.
So it's Brad Mader's turn again to tell the nation, face the nation, and tell them what your band.
My band Must Not Kill. Listen to that. End of story.
There you go.
Other than that, yeah, I got to do a plug too. But I like the new Arcacia Strain album, Slow Decay.
Okay.
Another band that just always delivers. I mean, kind of like, it's like an AC/DC kind of concept. They don't reinvent the wheel. They know their strengths and they definitely write accordingly. But I mean, when I first heard that band, it was one of the heaviest things I heard in a long time, and seen them play out a few times too, and they just deliver on stage. And yeah, I really dig that album too. It's real strong. So that's my number 3, I guess. So
very cool.
I'm up to number 16, and we're going to the Netherlands with 14th LP from Sinister.
I thought he was going to show us his balls when he said he was going to another land.
No. Deformation of the Holy Realm. Strong death metal album, some funeral march, scourged by demons, suffering from a mortal death, which probably isn't that pleasant, but
Hey, it goes along with the year. That's
a
fine.
band I haven't heard from in a while, and something decent. Another band that I've got on my list, it's their 7th LP. They haven't had an album in about 6 years. It's Fintroll. I can't pronounce it. It's Vredis Vinland. It's in Finnish, and it's, if you've never listened to Fintroll before, it's like Tim Burton-esque bombastic folk metal. It's kind of like a Batman soundtrack mixed with carnival music and screaming vocals, and
Oh, cool.
it's a good, one of the bands that kind of put the folk metal thing on the map and been quiet for years. And 14, Alex talked about them already. We talked a little bit about the new Sodom. It's their 16th LP. They're German thrash metal veterans, and Smear was talking that they've been trying to do this big 3 or big 4 of the German thrash metal bands and bring them to the States. Of course, who knows when that'll ever happen now, but it was supposed to be Creator, Destruction, and Sodom, and then I heard rumors of Tankard being on them. The next album I've got is their 21st LP. I've been listening to this band since I got into rock. It's Deep Purple with Whoosh.
Oh, cool.
The Power of the Moon. It's an album I listened to a lot this year. And with the Blue Oyster Cult, they're both really good albums still from really classic bands.
Gotta listen to
And
Wow.
German Symphonic, Leaves Eyes are back with another album, Death of a King, Chain of the Golden Horn. Perfect to go listen to when you're walking in the forest, which I do almost every day with the dog because I don't go to the gym, so I try to listen to some Viking metal when I'm out there,
There you go.
For 11th for the year is a band that did a comeback. They took a couple years off. The hauntingly depressing dark rock from Sweden's Catatonia with City Burial.
It's a cool cover.
I love this cover.
Yeah, it's cool.
I've always loved Catatonia. I mean, they're kind of like, if you like the Deftones a lot, I think you would kind of like Catatonia. Not maybe the early stuff, which is kind of death metal, but the stuff they've been doing is that like that moody, droney kind of stuff, like Deftones a little bit. Winter of Our Passing, Heart Set to Divide. The Locker was like the 2020 theme song. It's just like, it's all tarnished, and he's singing about this stuff. And Jonas can put depression to like to make it sound beautiful.
I wrote it down. I want to check it out.
Write it down.
It's got the Steve Keeler seal of approval, which has fucked me many times.
Have I messed you up in the past? Did you ever bring back that Grim Reaper CD?
Probably not.
Remember, he like came and borrowed it at the store, and he's like, I'm learning a couple songs of Grim Reaper. I forget what project.
I mean, I had to buy everything. I didn't have any money back then. I just go to Steve's and hopefully he'd give me some advanced copy of something, because he'd stand there at the counter and have like stacks of advanced copies that he didn't, I don't know if he sold them or not, but they were just back there.
It's against the law to do that. Yeah,
I'm like, oh right, it's against the law. Yeah, I forgot.
Should have been like me and just got a job there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, as Steve reported, I had a job at another Middletown store, on family business, so I couldn't get a job. And obviously, it wasn't paid very well if I couldn't afford a fucking CD. So
Dad didn't pay you good enough.
Thanks for the free rentals.
You're welcome. You're all welcome. Whoever came in. I don't know if Ken ever came in. I don't think I ever met you back in the day, but we had a chain of video stores in town. It was called Video to Go in Middletown. We had like 3 or 4 video stores in town.
Yeah, I think I was there a few times. I don't know.
Okay.
Some of those days, the gray matter's not what it used to be. So.
Well, it wasn't back then either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or wherever you're at, I don't,
Oh well. My mom might be watching this later, so yeah.
So Kenny, I guess we're back to you, man. So
all right. I guess I'm up to number 2. So for me, Imperial Triumphant. They're another New York City band. Like, I don't know what the hell you call them. Avant-garde black metal and jazz fusion kind of mashed together. with about every other musical style you could probably think of. But oh wait, I got props.
Hey,
They're on the
Yeah,
cover,
perhaps,
they're on
huh?
the cover of
There,
Decibel.
I actually bought this from Fantasy, so
oh, cool. Good
they
shit.
do a lot of. They have like cool riffs on like a lot of their artwork's very like Art Deco inspired. They're really I guess the music and the mood that they try to set is very inspired by like that kind of, I don't know, like dirty Manhattan City kind of stuff, the old like decaying shit. Live, I don't know if you've ever seen any videos of the guy live. They wear like hoods and they wear these masks. It looks like kind of like Eyes Wide Shut playing black metal.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Interesting.
I'm not doing them justice because they're very heavy, but they're all over the place. Very very complex technical music, but a mashup of a lot of different styles. And I mean, I've been listening to that like.
Yeah, they were just on the cover of Decibel, I think, last month, maybe.
Yeah. They were on
And
the
they
cover.
kind of look like they're some kind of alien force on stage, maybe almost like a Cylon.
Yeah, kind of that weird robotic kind of like
Yeah,
Art
definitely
Deco
does
look
look-
to them for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I really like them. I mean, it's a 3-piece, and the sound they get for 3 guys is pretty
Cool.
amazing. It's good stuff.
Alex, what do you got, brother?
Hey, up next for me would be the new Henrik Palm solo record. He's the guitarist from the band In Solitude, a Swedish heavy
Yes.
metal band. He played guitar for Ghost as well.
Oh,
And,
wow.
it's like I don't know. It's really good. It's very kind of avant-garde and like a dark rock kind of psychedelia at times.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's a really great record, you know. And yeah, that would be my number 4, I guess. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
What's his name again, Alex?
Henrik Palm.
Henrik Palm.
Yeah, really good stuff. It's it's kind of experimental.
Yeah.
Dark experimental rock.
Cool.
Some definitely 70s vibe. Rock influences in there too.
Cool.
So really good stuff. Yeah.
Sounds different.
Awesome.
And Andrew, we're back to you.
Okay, another one I can't pronounce. I picked all things that I can't pronounce very well. It's I'm going to try. Just correct me, and hopefully the gods of metal and music won't fuck me over. So it's Pussifer. Like Mike Yusufer from Primeval.
Oh, man.
Yusufer.
Spelled similar, yeah. Spelled similar. Yeah.
Is that right? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
Yeah.
It's called Existential Reckoning. That I can say. Existential Reckoning. It's their new record, and it's fucking dope. I love it. It's like I like Maynard in everything he does outside of Tool. And I know that's probably sacrilegious for a lot of, Tool fans, but I like Tool. Everybody likes Tool, I guess, but it gets a little proggy for me sometimes. Like it gets just a little too,
Yeah.
I know the pieces fit because, it's just like, okay, but I like it, but I love The Perfect Circle and I love everything he does outside of Tool. So this is, I don't know, this record, it's really, I don't know. It's more, it seems a little more commercial than the last ones, it's kind of like something you would hear on alternative radio. There's a band out there, it's a brother and sister duo that do just like poppy alt rock stuff, and they really remind me of that, but I can't remember the name of their band, so it'll come to me when somebody else is talking. But I really dig it. I really dig it because it's different, and I just love how he's got that same kind of droney sort of thing in his voice, and in the right context, it's just, I think it's gold. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I have to check that out for sure.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a really great record.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Tool thing. Tool never registered with me, but Perfect Circle, fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, Tool was kind of like Rush,
Songwriting to me, better songwriting. Tools, obviously it's progressive, but yeah, I always preferred Perfect Circle.
Right.
And their songs are like 12 minutes long too. I mean, I can't sit through that shit.
It's like jam band, psychedelic.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's
I don't
cool.
know if Tool's like
there's-
Rush, but
I mean, anybody who names a song "Hooker" with a penis, you can't really get, I mean, it's just fucking brilliant. When I saw it out, I was like, oh my God, they finally come to me. So I want
Well, you really adapted to Vegas, huh?
yeah, well, hey, it's 2020. Anything's possible now.
They're really
people
good
get
live,
on.
though. I saw them live. I played with them last year at was it Hellfest? And,
Oh, yeah?
they were really good. It was interesting to watch live. I wouldn't say so much, listening to it at home, but live.
Yeah.
It was,
Tool, you mean?
Tool, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I
live.
saw them in New York at the Garden, like right after 9/11. It was maybe like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks after 9/11, and it was heavy, man. And it was the show where Maynard was like, he was behind a curtain almost the whole night.
Yeah, yeah.
It was visually, it was unbelievable. And live, when they're doing all the hits and all the the stuff that's the big stuff, it's fantastic. You can't deny how good that band is. You can't. They're fantastic, and I would see them live anytime. But sometimes, I'm just not in that prog metal mode. It's just sometimes it's too much. So, and not to slag on Rush either. I love Rush, but sometimes it's just okay. Somebody get a drink and have sex with somebody, because I can't.
I'm not going to invite you to the Neil Peart tribute next week.
We'll opt out.
But I'll watch a Rush documentary all day long.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. All right, I'll shut up.
All right. So, yeah, I got to see Tool once, too. I might have been around that same tour. It was with a friend of mine from Middletown. She's like, let's go see Tool. And I was like, I'll go. And I wasn't, I've listened to them in the store and played them a lot. But, yeah, their live show is very, like, if you're going back, someone in my age, I'm 60 now, you think of the 70s, they were kind of like Pink Floyd-y and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I go with Pink Floyd more than I do Rush, because it's more of that just like, dude, smoke a joint and just not seat kind of music for sure, yeah. Brad Mader, do you have a pick?
Yes, I do. It's Heaven Shall Burn of Truth and Sacrifice. Very, very good album. It really reminds me of like kind of like that Bolt Thrower, like Benediction kind of feel to it, and definitely like an All Out War type flavor. Kind of pulls at my heartstrings a little bit, but really solid album. Straight up, all the songs are just well written. Really like that album a lot. So that's my pick.
Oh, cool. So you're back to me again. I'm going to hit you with a bunch of albums. We already talked about this one. It's my number 10 album. Like, these aren't in any particular order. Some of these, about AC/DC. I love, like, Demon Fire, Shot in the Dark. No, not the Ozzy one, but their Witch's Spell. There's some strong songs on that album. And Oakland, California's Neck Rot.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
That's a really good album.
I guess. I don't know. I got to meet them on tour when they were on the road with Suffocation and Black Dollar Murder a couple of years ago. Great guys. I got to interview them earlier this year. And this one is Vader, Solitude and Madness. Shock and Awe, Despair, another one that came out when we had thought that we might all die in 3 weeks from the plague. And,
We're actually doing.
I got this delivered to my house. The store was closed, and one of the stronger albums of the year, I think. And of course, Vader never really disappoints me. And next one for me is from Finland again, the 8th album from Ensiferum, Thalassic. The Defense of Sampo, of course, the drinking song Rum, Women, and Victory. So you've got your Viking, stuff going on.
Wow. Love that.
I think I got one more.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah.
Roche.
And of course,
Pinkies up.
Alex has heard of this band before. Incantation with the Sect of Vile Divinities. That's my number 1 death metal album of the year out of the death metal categories. And course, I'm good friends with John. John comes on the Rock Fantasy Files quite a bit, and great guy, great album, and solid old school style death metal. I'm done with my run.
All right.
So it's
I'm up next. All right. My number one spot is a band from Colorado called In the Company of Serpents. Album's called Lux. They're like like sludge metal, a little bit neurosis-y kind of band.
okay.
A lot of the themes are like it's based on like the like tarot readings and stuff like that. It's got a good dose of mysticism to it. But I really like the music a lot. They do a lot of really cool guitar interludes that remind me a lot like with slide guitar. Really weird. Like it has this weird kind of I don't know like weird Western feel to it, and then they go into like this really really like heavy kind of sludge metal breakdowns and stuff like that. So I mean that's where my head's more at these days. I mean I like a lot of death metal, but I like to listen to a lot of like the slower, more groovy shit as well.
Okay.
Like that's kind of I'm leaning more that way more. But yeah, I mean that's been my favorite one this year so far, I would say.
Cool.
That's all I got.
So we're going back over to Alex. What's up, brother?
5 would be the new Carcass EP.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad someone mentioned that.
Yeah.
It's the kind of melodic kind of new wave British heavy metal stuff that Bill does with the guitar, obviously with kind of death metal influences. Yeah, really good. So
Awesome. And I sold quite a few copies of that. And I'm going to admit I haven't listened to that one. There's a few things I haven't listened to. There's a few things that I just started listening to in the last week that I threw into my pile, like the new Findrell too. And a couple things that have dropped down the chart, a couple things came up the chart. So yeah, there's a lot of that. Benediction is on everybody's list, and I didn't get it on mine. I sold out of it as soon as I came in. And now, like if a record sells out, you get back ordered for months now. Once something's out and it's pressed and they run out, it takes forever to get stuff back on the shelf.
Yeah.
Like the Iron Maiden live in Mexico City. I was able to get the CDs. I still have not gotten the vinyl, and I pre-ordered that in August. So there's a metal title that you can go by, but there's a ton of pop stuff and everything else that you can't get. Because I was getting tons of calls during the Christmas holidays for all this, really mainstream stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'll look it up. I'll get it for you. It's like, oh, back ordered. And they're like, we tried everywhere. We thought you could find it. I'm like, yeah, well, it's out of stock everywhere. Unless it's on my shelf, I'm not going to find it.
Well, they're probably not manufacturing as many anymore, and that's the problem. Like, as I know, vinyl's the highest selling thing in recording music now, isn't it?
Yeah.
But they're not
Without
making
doubt.
them.
And the one
I really think what's happening is a lot of people are just buying this stuff up. I mean, working at Dean Guitars, I mean, we can't keep guitars in stock. Everybody's at home playing music. And I think that's just across the board with collective music and everything else, is that people are just buying this stuff up. Because if you actually talk to the manufacturers, I mean, they're actually producing more, if not more, this year. Wow. And people are just buying the stuff up. So, I mean, it's good for bands, selling that stuff, but, trying to get it for your own collection is, quite hard. So.
Right.
It's the same in a lot of the industries. I mean, I'm in the smoke shop industry. You can't get a lot of pipes right now. I mean, part of it is they are manufacturing. Some places got shut down for COVID. Stuff that's imported doesn't come in as easy. And the pinball industry, too, at Stern Pinball. Andrew knows we have a mutual friend that works at Stern, Jody.
Jody Dankberg, yeah.
Mm-hmm. They can't make pinballs fast enough because the home market, even though all the arcades and stuff are pretty much closed, unless you live in Florida with Brad Mader and you can play gigs still. But,
we don't need no stinking COVID.
The home market for pinball, you can't keep stuff up. Even if there's a new Led Zeppelin game coming out now, I'm supposed to be getting it. I'm like, what am I going to do with it? I can't really do much with it now. I put it in the house maybe until it gets better.
That'd be a cool one to get, the Led Zeppelin pinball machine. That'd be
Yeah, they
very
just came
cool.
out with a Zeppelin. I just did a Guns N' Roses Jersey Jack, which is amazing. It's got a big LCD screen in it, and it's got like, you know, a Guns N' Roses concert, all that from their arena tour. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, look at, there's people in the stands. They don't have masks on. Anyhow, we'll go back to the list. I'm way off topic. Andrew, what do you got for your
Next?
You're number one, I guess. Now
I guess this would be. I guess I wouldn't say they were in any order, but I do really dig this album, and it's the what's his name from Dillinger Escape Plan. But before I say it, that band I couldn't remember the name of was called Fantagram. You ever hear of a band? They're like a kind of a poppy alt rock sort of brother sister duo. That's what the Maynard's record is kind of reminding me. Like, it seems like they're going in more of a commercial, way, and it kind of reminds me of that. So that's really like where I enjoyed listening to the female singer in there as well. As much as I went to it because Maynard was doing it, and I went, but I'm kind of like, well, I'd like to listen to her sing a little more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, because I couldn't remember before, because my memory is, because I'm buying all the pipes that you're not getting at your store, apparently. So.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently.
You got legal weed in Vegas, so.
Oh, yeah. What, is it not legal in the rest of the country? Jesus.
No, not here, so.
Wow. You know what? You can't even drive down the street without smelling it anymore, because people are smoking in their cars. It's really good for them, but.
You know what? I wouldn't say that's not true here, but it's still illegal medical still. But yeah, it's smelling all over.
It's pretty crazy.
We got people from all around the country here. We got Ken, who's in Middletown like me. We got Alex. You're down in what? You're down in Ocean City still, Maryland area?
No, I'm in Ocean View, Delaware now.
Delaware. Okay, I knew you were down. And I got Andrew from Vegas, and we got Brad from where are you in St. Pete, or you in Tampa?
No, I'm in Tampa, Florida.
Tampa, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Tampa death metal.
Yep.
So
that's it.
Country, and Brad's the only place that's got. Brad's playing gigs in bars still, which is crazy. I feel.
Yeah, man. I mean, they're still throwing shows. I mean, it's a lot of local acts. I mean, there's no obvious, touring bands or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, the places are they're doing about half capacity.
Okay,
so,
hey, it's better than nothing. That's for sure.
It's something.
Yeah, I'll take it, man. Feed the Jones.
So, Brad, I guess it's up to your pick now. We're at yours.
All right. Is this like number one, or is this?
I think this is your fifth pick so far. So it would be your number one or number five or whatever direction you're heading.
Okay. I actually got two that I like. I'm just going to throw them both out there.
Okay.
Band from Canada. I just got into recently. Called Fuck the Facts, and they got Plain North Seer as they're like a DIY band. I think they have their own record label. They put their own stuff out, but killer female vocalist in that band, and just kind of all over the place with like atmospheric stuff to real heavy. Definitely a strong pick for me to be number one. I also like the new Mr. Bungle album, the Rage and Wrath of the Easter Bunny. I think that's great. I mean, they got Scott Ian in there. It's more thrash here. It's probably not for every Mr. Bungle fan of days of old, but it's definitely more of a heavier album, I think. And
isn't Lombardo playing drums on that too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got Lombardo on.
I like it. It's good for what it is. It just doesn't sound like Mr. Bungle. It was like Mr. Bungle. I'm used to like this, like this weird music that's like, I don't know, if you took like carnival music and I don't know, like every other genre of music and smashed it together with Mike Patton screaming, yelling, burping over the top of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like that. I do like the album. They shouldn't have named it Mr. Bungle, I don't think. It should be another one of Patton's side bands. Because it's more metal edge. I mean, it's really like the tour they did where they did all covers was fucking awesome.
It was great.
That was great.
Absolutely. That's why I was starting to pay attention again, because they did that.
Yeah.
So, but for me, I mean, I wasn't really a huge Mr. Bungle fan in the beginning. So for me, for this album, it draws me in.
Sure.
I'm just more into the thrashier stuff. So, but I think it's great. It's well done. and well produced. So I mean, we wouldn't expect anything else with Lombardo and Ian and all those guys on it. So
Yeah, it's like
killer.
that's another one of your super groups, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm all about super groups.
Yeah,
man.
it's true. You're on a roll.
And it might be
I
a
don't
little
listen to
heavy,
anything else.
little heavier than Asia, probably.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you mentioned that because this is like the fourth like year-end show I've done. I've done a couple with Pete Pardo, Sea of Tranquility. Of course, we do every Monday at Hudson Valley Squares. If you guys haven't checked it out, I think you'll really enjoy it. It's me and Butch Jones and a girl, the Chance, and Pete Pardo and Ryan Scow and Nick Franco, and we have Sydney Taylor, who's works for Live Nation, 21-year-old kid, and we had such a good time. But we did our year end, and there's so many people were yelling like, "How did you guys do a list and not have Mr. Bungle on there?" Like, there's people like were ready to rip our heads off for not having that on our list. So I'm glad you mentioned it tonight, so we've gotten that out of the way.
I aim to please.
I'm going to finish up my list, and then we'll do a couple. If you guys have a couple honorable mentions, or I'd love for you guys to talk about what your projects are just a little bit, and fill people in on what they can expect from your bands and what's going on. So my number, where am I at? My number 5 is Napalm Death. We discussed already tonight. The song "The Contagion" is so heavy, and it's so
yes,
great. Love that.
It's awesome.
I mean, the whole album. I didn't, I like Napalm Death, and I love the live performance. Sometimes I'll just like, maybe I'll open that up. I haven't for a while this summer. I think I was too depressed to even listen to heavier stuff. I was just listening to the 70s stuff and like feel good stuff when I was a kid. But this album is like, it's so good. And
it is.
It's
it
the
is.
best Napalm Death album in a long time. And
absolutely.
Andy brought this up already. Deftones. This album could be. I think at one time this year it was my number 1 album. And of course, all the death metal heads would have me crucified on the cross if I said that was number 1.
You can like other things. It's okay.
Number 3, Testament, back with another album, and this came out right in the beginning of the pandemic. Of course, how do you go wrong? Skolnick, Gene Hoglan on the drums, Children of the Next Level, World War III, The Night of the Witch, False Prophet. I don't need to go on, but a well-produced thrash album from Testament. Testament has been putting out great albums for years now, and I think they should be in the Big 4.
And they're great guys too. They're really
yeah.
Overkill should be in the Big 4 too sometimes. So.
Yeah.
And my number 2 album of the year is from Gothenburg, Sweden's legendary Dark Tranquility with the Moment, Phantom Days, Identical to None. It's their 12th studio album, and it doesn't disappoint. I don't think it's quite as fast and aggressive as some of their last couple albums, but it's an album that really grew on me. The first time I listened to it, I was kind of so-so on it. I love Michael's vocals, and I love their stuff, and I see them all the time on tour. And my number 1 album, every time this band puts out an album, I think they've had number 1 albums with me probably every time almost. Their number 2s is Enslaved from Norway, with their very once the black metal band, now very proggy, but still with really heavy stuff, and I love it. So
cool.
I'm done with my list. So
good list, Steve. Wow, you actually prepared. Great.
Every time I got only like 5s or 10s. Since it was my show, I got to do the whole thing. I had a couple honorable mentions, like my good friend Matt Hatebreed put out an album this year. Strong, Firewind with Gus G. A couple other things. The Uada, which I still haven't got my hands on, with the black metal outfit, which is a really good album. An Eternal Champion, which is more of like old school, new wave of British heavy metal style, I'd say. So that's it for me. I'm going to go back to Ken. Ken, what do you got going on with Morpheus or any of your band projects or anything going on? Of course, there's not much going on. We know it's a pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, COVID kind of threw a wrench in a lot of crap. Morpheus Descends, we've been sitting on about geez, 2 albums worth of material for a while now.
Mm.
We were actually going to start recording right when all the whole quarantine hit. So that
Okay.
threw a wrench in the works. We got a lot of like stuff demoed, but I don't know. We're hopefully the beginning of the year to really start doing real deal recording and getting some stuff out there.
Mhm.
Like I said, we got a lot of new material. We redid some old songs with because we have a new singer and a new guitar player. I mean, they're not new. We've had them for like 2-3 years, but
Okay.
they're probably new to everybody else. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, things are moving along. We're hoping 2021 will be better, and we'll have some releases coming out soon. And I'm also we just actually came back from jamming with Rooms of Ruin. That's my kind of like my
Okay.
side band.
Yeah.
We're looking to record in February. We got like 6 new songs we're gonna do, and
Awesome.
I don't know, like the same thing. Everything like recording's all well and good, but if you can't play out afterwards, it's kind of you're kicking yourself in the nuts as far as releasing something because you can't do any live shows to support it. So, but there's a lot of material, so we're kind of just gonna record early in the year and see what happens as far as when we release it and when we actually start playing shows again. Hopefully soon.
The last time I saw Rooms of Ruin play, you played a party for the pinball club when Levin was still. You remember? It was at
Yes. Yep.
at the Volpe residence over in Campbell Hall.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, that was funny.
And I
They had a great game room. The game room there was amazing.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Awful.
That
It
was
was
out
like
of hand.
it was like a very nice game room, and it was like a pizzeria Uno, like it looked like in this basement, and it was just
Yeah.
everything over the top. And I think the last time I hate to say it, you might correct me with my memory, but the last time I saw Morpheus play was in my store, which was a fucking raging.
Oh yeah, rock and roll. Right, the record store day, right?
It was like a record store day, 420, and we had like all kinds of bands, from jam bands to guys doing Grateful Dead covers to hardcore bands and then Morpheus Descends played the pinball room, and we've got some footage of that still, and it was such an epic, great time.
Oh, that was a great time. That's one of the only times my sons actually come to see us play.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So afterwards, when I asked him how it sounded, he said it was loud and it hurt my stomach. So I was like, all right, yeah. So mission accomplished. I was like, that's what it's supposed to do to you. Cool.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
such
Yeah,
worthless
that
dicks to our
was
kids,
great.
aren't
You
we?
know,
How old's your son now?
he's 12.
Oh
Oh,
my
wow.
God.
Yeah.
Jeez, I saw him. He was tiny.
Yeah. No, he's almost as tall as me now. He's
Wow.
He's gonna be a
Holy
bruiser.
crap.
Yeah, time flies.
Crazy.
Cool. So Alex, congratulations. I hear you're expecting a child soon.
Yes, little girl.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what do you got? What's going on in Alex's world? What do you want to share anything with us with the mighty Immolation? My favorite band.
Well, hopefully we can get together and
Is he breaking up or froze up?
Yeah, I think he froze. Yeah.
Alex, if you can hear us, you froze up. I'm not sure.
and the project.
Yeah. Alex, we can't hear you right
Not
now.
that far.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Now
can
I
you hear
can
me?
see. Now you're better.
Hear me
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, you might want to
Okay.
start over because you kind of froze up on the screen and we couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay. So yeah, for Immolation, we're planning on getting together hopefully within the next month or so and rehearsing and then recording the new record. So hopefully we'll have that out towards the end of next year. And hopefully we can get back on the road. Knock on wood.
Great.
And yeah, so then I have another project called Shadows, which is like a dark avant-garde kind of metal rock thing that I have with some friends. And we have an EP coming out early next year, and we're in the middle of recording a full length right now for that. So hopefully I have 3 records out next year.
Cool.
And hopefully by the end of next year, we can start getting busy again. So
Yeah.
we'll
Nice.
see.
I think by the end of next year, we'll probably be in a much better spot than we are right now.
Yeah,
Hope
I
so.
hope so. Yeah, you know.
Unless you live in Florida, because everything's normal with Bradley's. I guess immolations. All you guys, all the
I
bands.
keep hearing about these problems you guys are having. What's going on? I missed something?
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I was looking forward to a break after 2019, being on the road so much.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect it to be this long.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
with you
really.
on that, Alex. It was
Oh,
nice.
man.
It was nice to have some time, but like when everything
Yeah.
started, I was like, "Oh, we stay home for 2 weeks? Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
2 weeks, 3 months, 5 months. You know, I mean, I'm still kind of cool with it because I've been working here, but it's not,
Yeah.
I'm antisocial already, so it's already, it's not much of a switch. But
It was
Don't get
10
me wrong,
days.
I love being home, that's for sure. But
yeah, I bet.
you know, after a while, you start to miss it. You know, so
Of course.
I mean, you live right in DC also, right?
I was in DC up and we lived there for about 6 years, and I
Yeah,
lived
that's what I thought.
a few blocks from the White House where
Yeah.
we lived. It started getting a little crazy there, obviously.
Yeah.
And the wife were just like, "Yep, I think it's time to get out of the
Move.
city."
I didn't know if you just escaped for like the month or whether you moved out. I wasn't sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we got out of there.
I don't blame you.
We're in the farmland now. There's no problems here. So
Cool. So, yeah, I can't wait to hear some new Immolation. Of course, you guys slay, and I just love Immolation. So,
yeah,
I'm a fanboy for Immo. And
we're psyched about it for sure. We want to get it out. You know, we're really excited about the new songs, and
yeah,
you know, I think we kind of took things to the next level from the last record. So that's
Cool.
what you try to do anyway. Anytime you do a new album. So yeah,
I think
Yeah, awesome, man.
it's amazing that in this room tonight, there's one thing that we all have in common. We've all either worked or played at the Class in Middletown, New York, because Immolation played at the Class.
I remember.
But you were in Incantation, and I think you guys might have played there too.
yeah.
And of course, Morpheus had played there, and Brad Mader's played there with Fear Within, and Andrew Freeman had some great songs if you look back into my head.
Ken, tell Sam, your drummer, to give me a call.
Okay. I'll let him
Been a
know.
ghost.
I'll let him know, man.
Yeah, please.
I haven't heard from
Looking
Sam in
forward
a
to the
while
new
either.
stuff too.
Yeah. So, Andrew, I guess you're next to tell us what you got going on out there in Sin City.
I got, what do I got? I got half a record done with Last in Line. Half of it is written. It's just a matter of motivating people to work. It's a matter of motivating a millionaire to stop racing around in all of his cars and record some guitar tracks. That's what I'm up against. So, but yeah, we've got 6 done. We started. I want to say I saw the writing on the wall with this coming with the COVID crisis, but we had Leopard did a residency in Vegas for like 3 weeks, and I capitalized on it. I booked a rehearsal room, and I said, hey, let's, everybody lived in LA, so it's, only a couple hours or, to get here. So I was like, let's just get in a room and start putting some ideas together, because a lot of times with us, it takes, a couple of years to get anything done, because we're dealing with, this fucking, monster, classic rock nostalgia act, that we have to, that we're a side band of, so we got in a room and started working on stuff last summer. We recorded some stuff in LA and basic tracks in back in January. Luckily we got 6 songs like tracked, and then I finished up the rest of the stuff here, and everybody's just been working remotely. So, and then Phil Susan, our bass player, moved to Vegas, so we kind of go back and forth, and we've been kind of producing and making it happen and getting it done. So we got half a record done. We got to finish up, maybe about 4 or 5 more songs. And then I have this new thing I'm doing with Mike Orlando, the guitar player, Mike Orlando. He was in, Adrenaline Mob with Mike Portnoy.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're doing this. We just signed with Golden Robot out of Australia, and we're doing I think it's a 10-song record that we finished, and I'm actually just doing the final,
Cool.
just messing around with Pro Tools with it and getting that done. That should be out the next couple of months, and it's kind of it's not, I want to say it's symphonic, but it started as a Frontiers Records thing, and they wanted a symphonic metal record, and they basically said, we want, I don't know, Journey meets symphonic metal, basically.
Wow.
You know, and we tried our best, but you know, but these songs are really big, like they're big songs, but there's a lot of that, a lot of guitar playing. There's a keyboard player, so it's got that symphonic, you know, like power metal sort of thing going on at times, and it's kind of cool. It's a cool record. There are some 7-minute long songs, but the guy who manages the band, he's really into it because he says it reminds him of old like Deep Purple records and old 70s prog rock bands, and that, you know, but with a metal twist to it. So so that's the other one, and I just different sessions and getting hired to do random stuff, sing on random things. So if anybody's looking, let me know. That's about it.
So you did the Rock the Vault for so many years, and that's what's that been done for a year or so now, or a couple of years?
Yeah, I got fired from that back in 2018.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got fired because I liked getting paid, and they didn't want to pay me. So you know, and that was
How
like
dare you?
Yeah, I know. That was like a classic rock revival, Vegas revival show. It was fun. It was myself and Howard Leese from Heart, and who else? Hugh McDonald from Bon Jovi, and just a bunch of those, you know, older type side guy super group sort of thing, and then we ran that for about 7 years, and then it just ended when this all went down. So but I was doing that, and I was doing this other show called Tenors of Rock out here too. I was doing that for a little while. This is a nice town to live in when you do this, when you tour, because when you come home, you can always pick gigs up if you just want to play, which is really all I want to do is play music. So you can have a studio, and if you've got connections on a world stage, and you can get work that way, but then you can also kind of be on a world stage at a local level. You know, it's cool because I can just go down and, you know, play outside the hockey game with a cover band and or in a casino or whatever. There's usually gigs going on all the time. So
True.
So it works out. So, you know, it's been a good move for me moving here. So I have avoided becoming an adult for a while, so it's good.
I think I've pulled that off too. I'm not an adult.
Yes,
Even though I'm like kind of in my retirement mode. I'm in my pajamas by 1 o'clock every day.
Yeah, you kind of got a crypt keeper going on with your hair these days. So I like it.
Why is it?
Yeah, it's me, Steve Keeler.
Now on another show I do, they were calling me Father Time, but last week they were saying, "Wow, Steve Keeler gets younger looking on every episode." I'm like, "Well, that's pretty good."
No, you don't look old at all, dude.
Oh, he just combed his hair. So, Brad, what do you got going? Oh, Andrew, you were telling me when we talked in the summer, you were working on a project with one of the guys from Machine Head, I think.
Oh, I did a song with what's his name? Shit.
Yeah,
Phil?
you actually were playing me parts.
Phil Demmel. Yeah, me and Phil Demmel did
yeah.
we did a one of those jam things at NAMM last year at the NAMM convention, and we played a Montrose, Ronnie Montrose Remembered, and it was myself, and that's how I met Jimmy DeGrasso and a couple other guys, Ed Roth on keyboards, and we played this kind of obscure Ronnie Montrose band called Gamma. We did a song called I can't remember the name of the song, sorry, but we played. Phil and I did that. It was pretty cool. But he did a whole covers record too this year that came out with him and a singer from Overkill, and I can't remember who was in the band. Else was in the band.
Oh yeah. I it was Blitz, and I should know the name of that album, but I can't think of it right now.
And Phil's the king. Phil's the king of covers right now. Like, he does covers all the time with different combinations of people, and he's a great dude. Did that, and then we did the Ellefson record too, which I talked about earlier.
Cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
So what's going on down there in Tampa, Florida, other than Busch Gardens being open? Let's go on some roller coasters, brother.
Yeah, all the parks are open now, so.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, everything's open in Florida. We don't care.
So you played a couple gigs at the Brass Mug recently, and what's going on with your band right now?
Actually, we're getting ready to go in the studio ourselves. We're writing a bunch of new stuff, and we actually got a hook up at that master sound, what I talked to, I said briefly before, but you know, the guys over there, so we're going to hibernate in the studio for a while and try to put out a full length and just keep releasing a couple songs here and there, do some videos and stuff, and hopefully the world will get back to normal where I can get outside of Florida and play some other shows, you know. But
Play a chance again.
if it's still there, isn't it up for sale?
The chance has been for sale for over 10 years. WPDH, of course, like every other news agency, likes to produce doom and gloom. We were told by someone from the chance, and every year when it shows up again, when they relist it, of course, PDH is like, chance is closing, restaurants closing. You know, of course, you know how the news is right now.
It's still one of my favorite places to play. I mean,
The chance is awesome.
I mean, as long as it's not closed for years, Frank still plans on reopening. And actually, they have shows booked for, I think, starting in May again. You know, you never know with the vaccine and stuff. Maybe they do start realizing, hey, like Florida, you got to reopen the economy. But we don't want to go into that conversation. Whether you should open.
Yes, you do.
You do.
Open up the venues.
No politics talk, no religion, no whatever.
Yeah, a lot of our bigger venues are actually closed, but like a lot of the small bars, like the Mug and all those places, are doing shows, and it's a lot of local stuff. So
yeah, I just did a show with Robin Mason, and she knows.
Yeah.
Oh, I know Robin. Yeah.
Robin was like, "Yeah, Steel Panthers playing tonight." I'm like, "They're playing where?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, they're playing down so and so, and Jeff Tate's in town next week." And I'm like, "Wow!" I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah, they did two sold out shows or something like that. It was crazy.
And then I had Luis Alvarez from he manages Enslaved, and he was like, "Yeah, Enslaved." And I'm like, "Oh, dude, is that a streaming concert?" Guy wanted to stream it, and he's like, "No, they're actually playing tours. They're actually doing shows in Norway. They were, like half capacity." Well, I guess this kind of wraps up the Rock Fantasy Files. I'm so glad that all of us got together tonight, Andrew. It was great to catch up with you.
You guys too. It's fun. A lot of fun.
Man.
Thank you.
Brad, it was the first ever Rock Fantasy Files tonight, and so was Ken.
Yeah, man.
You guys back on again. Next week's episode, we're going to do a show about Rush, just the top 3 songs or top 5 songs, depending on how many people get together. We also plan on doing one in honor of Lemmy. But Motorhead, of course, Lemmy's 5-year gone was a couple days ago, so we want to do something with him. And Robin Mason had the idea of doing something with Eddie Van Halen, like a Van Halen show. And Andrew wants to be in a Van Halen show. So
I'll be in all of them. What the fuck else am I going to do? Just call me for all of them.
All right.
I'll see you right here.
Yeah, give me a call, man.
Have you ever done anything with Pardo? With Sea of Tranquility?
Who, me?
Yeah. Have you been on his program at all? You know,
No, I don't think so.
You know what? I'll talk to him and we'll see. Maybe you want to come on Hudson Valley Squares because you're originally from Hudson Valley, so you could be on.
You know, I just talked to Butch Jones last week. I got a funny story about him. Is he
we still
one of the? No, it's not. I mean, it's not like I caught him in a bathroom doing something he shouldn't be. But he. I just happened to my kid's baseball team. My kid's in club ball out here. My kid's a little bit of a hot shit baseball player at 11 years old, and so he plays club ball. And the coach on there is, when you're on Facebook, the names pop up. This could be, hey, potential friend. And I look at it's one of the coaches, and I clicked on it to see if any other parents, because I'm like, whatever, I'm friend with anybody. And I see he's a friend of Butch Jones. I'm like all the way out here. I don't know if everybody knows Butch, but he's just been a fixture of the rock community in the Hudson Valley for guitar player and for since I've been out. He's been around, but he also worked. I think he worked for DR Strings or something for a while. Yeah, so I would see him in LA, and I'd see him more than I didn't. And he's a big Vivian Campbell fan, so I always was like,
oh yeah.
I had him introduced him. He brought a stack of stuff for Viv to sign and all that. So made his life, I guess. But so it turns out that this guy and his kid's he's probably like 23, 24 years old. The coach, I was like, hey, how do you know Butch Jones? He's like, how the fuck do you know Butch Jones? I grew up with the guy. So it's just kind of a 7 degrees of Middletown moment. It was really 7 degrees of Hudson Valley. That seems to happen a lot.
Butch is Vivian, of course, Phil, Thin Lizzy, and
yeah.
Patrick Sharp, and Wayne Gretzky, of course. Not all in that order. Yeah, check us out on Monday nights, Hudson Valley Squares on the Sea of Tranquility channel. And Rock Fantasy Files, we're going to try to keep doing stuff this year. I want to thank everyone, Ken from Morpheus and Rooms of Ruin, Alex from Immolation, and what was the other one you said?
Shadows.
Yes. And of course, Brad Mader from Dean Guitars and Must Not Kill and Fear Within from Middletown, and Andrew Freeman living
From
the
everybody.
living the life of Ronnie.
Whoever's
Garcia.
fucking paying. Whoever's paying. That's the band I'm in.
If you like this if you like this video, please hit like. Please subscribe to my channel if you like this stuff, and comment. Give us your top 10 or top 3 albums of the year, or tell us what 3 albums you thought sucked. Let's get this rocking and rolling, and everyone stay safe. Have a happy new year. I've almost finished my champagne bottle of Miller. So.
All right. Well, thanks, Steve. Thanks for having us on, man. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Steve. Take care, guys.
I'll be in
Cheers, man.
touch
Be
with
safe,
you guys.
guys.
All
Thanks,
right.
guys.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll be in
It's
touch.
great seeing you.